Hello and welcome to my review of the Sisters of Battle Arco-Flagellants. Now, currently the only way to get these three particular models is from the Sisters of Battle Army set that recently came out. I think it was about £125. They will be releasing these models separately in multi-part kits, I would have thought, I guess in a unit of 5 maybe, with various options. I'm yet to see those models though, but hopefully it won't be too long before they're released. I'll go through these individual models, do some size comparisons, and then I'll go through all of their rules. So like a few of the other models in the box set, you do get, well, you get a set of twins at least. So these two here are exactly the same, albeit the heads. Now you get basically two different heads for them. So you could have the same head as that one has on that flagellant, or the same head as that one has on that flagellant, or you can have the different two heads. It's really up to you. But apart from their sort of faces, they are exactly the same pose. They're really quite straightforward, simple to put together. There's a few mould lines and things about, but shouldn't take you too long to put together. I really like their kind of fast dynamic poses. Plenty of detail on these, like the other Sisters of Battle models. Games Workshop are doing this a lot now, having plenty of models in these ridiculous poses. Even the Repentia have got some great poses too, and the Penitent Engine and so on. And then you've got this one too, which is crazy. This is a female one, I believe. So nice to see a female Arco-Flagellant. I don't know whether they've had them in the past, but I'm just pleased that we've got them in plastic rather than the metal or the fine cast models. So they're the three that come in the set on a small 25mm bases. Let's just show you some size comparisons then. I'd like to start off with some Sisters of Battle miniatures. So we've just got a normal Battle Sister here. Similar height, probably say this Battle Sister is a bit taller, just because of the pose more than anything. These poses make them look smaller than the Battle Sisters just because they're running, so they're hunched downwards next to the Canoness. Canoness towers over them. I've got the Repentia Superior here as well, which looks pretty cool next to all of these, whipping them about. They wouldn't really work like that. She whips the old Repentia about, but still, for size comparisons and just you know, action poses, all of these models look fantastic, well, with the exception of the Canoness obviously, but yeah, that hopefully that helps in looking at the sizes of the flagellants as well. Let's just compare them to a couple more Imperial models. So we've got a standard Space Marine here. Even the standard Space Marine, this is quite rare, but standard Space Marine is taller than the flagellants. You kind of expect that. And then the Primaris Intercessor on the right is even taller. I mean, absolutely dwarfs them. But then again, Primaris would dwarf, you know, some of the other models. Yeah, dwarfs the Sisters model as well. Even the Space Marine is a bit taller, definitely a lot bulkier. So I hope those size comparisons help. So this is my part of the review where I will go through all of their rules. They can be found in the brand new Sisters of Battle Codex under the very bloated Elite section of the book. It's the largest section of the book, along with the HQ section, and you know, there's not that many HQs really. So they are a power points cost of a 2 and a points cost of 13 per model. Arco flails are free, they don't cost anything, so it's a base points of 13 per model. Their stat line reads movement of 7 inches, weapon skill 4+. They don't have a ballistic skill, they have a strength of 4, which is pretty good. They're quite squishy at toughness 3. They've got 2 wounds each, 2 attacks each, leadership 7 and a 7+ save. Oh dear. The unit contains 3 Arco-Flagellants. It can additionally contain up to 2 Arco-Flagellants for power rating of +1, or up to 7 Arco-Flagellants for power rating of +4. So you can have 10 then. It can contain 1 Endurant instead of 1 Arco-Flagellant. Every model is equipped with Arco Flails. So one of those, whether it's 3 or 10, can be upgraded to be an Endurant, and all that happens is that the stat line stays the same, except the Endurant just gets 1 extra attack, attacks 3. The Arco-Flails then, they're a melee weapon, they plus the strength by 1, so that's good, so now they're hitting on strength 5, AP -1 and damage of 1. However, where they really shine is you make D3 hit rolls for each attack made with this weapon instead of 1. Fantastic. So you've got 10 of these Arco-Flagellants, they've got 2 attacks each, that's 20 attacks, possibly getting 60 attacks there with just 10 of them. Absolutely awesome. Even more with the Endurant, of course. Abilities, Zealot, and then Berserk Killing Machines. When a model in this unit would lose a wound, roll 1d6. On a 5+, that wound is not lost. It's a bit like Disgusting and Resilient. You're just going to ignore the wounds on a 5+, which will help them out. I think 3 is a bit too low for a unit though. The other ability is Ecclesiarchy Battle Conclave. If your army is battle forged, this unit does not take up a slot in detachment that includes any Ministorum priests. Faction keywords: Imperium Adeptus Ministorum, Infantry, Ecclesiarchy, Battle Conclave, and Arco-Flagellants. So there you go. If you've got any Ministorum priests, then they're not going to take up that elite choice, which is brilliant. You can have 10 of them. I'd take as many as possible. Your delivery method is going to be contentious. I would try and put them in a Rhino if you were allowed to put them in a Rhino. I think you can because they're infantry models. But yeah, I wouldn't have them out in the open at all. They're very squishy at toughness 3. They practically don't have a save, but they can ignore the wounds. They're going to be in, the biggest squad you can have is 10. So try and keep them covered. Try and keep them in a transport. Maybe even put them in a Immolator. That would be pretty good. It's got a 12-inch move, and if you have the Immolation Flamers, then they've got Assault 2d6, but then you run the risk of flaming everything that you want these to charge into, as is the case with assault kind of transport vehicles. So there you go, that's the Arco-Flagellants. Yes, you only get 3. It's more of like a little taster of what's to come, in my opinion, for these models in the future. I really look forward to the the full kit, if and when they do make them. What do you guys think of the models and their rules? They are a bit squishy, but they can certainly pump out a lot of attacks if you manage to get them into close combat. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor protects.